Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, what do we got here? 9:14. I've been up for quite a while. I was watching the live broadcast of the coronation of King Charles. That was interesting. Wow, what a lot of pomp and ceremony, eh? Yeah, they those British people, they really know how to, you might say, put on a show. And I got to hear my one of my favorite pieces that I was mentioning a few days ago. Remember I said I went to the concert here in Winnipeg, and they sang the piece Zadok the Priest? Well, don't you know, I heard it live. Yeah, as it was being sung. Now, I was watching on the BBC coverage, and then while I was watching it, I grabbed my smartphone here, and I brought it up on another channel, which actually seemed to be a few seconds ahead. So maybe I wasn't actually watching it live on BBC. Maybe there was some sort of lag going on, just in case maybe there was a disaster happened and they'd want to cut it out. You know, they do that sort of thing. And I can understand why. Anyway, yeah, so congratulations to all my UK friends. Actually, probably congratulations to all of us who were associated with the Commonwealth at one time. Yeah, anyway, enough about that. Oh, and I noticed that Merv's flag was flying very smartly, you might say, for the coronation this morning. That was kind of nice. And the sun was coming up as it was happening. That was kind of nice. And our walkers came and went. Yeah, it was kind of nice too. At first I didn't recognize our walkers. They looked different, but it was them. Anyway, I got at least 2 comments. Just pardon my boarding house reach here. Okay, I got at least 2 comments from people saying, why don't you cut off the bad part, shorten that rail, and stick up what you can? Now here's my feeling on it. I am so disgusted with that I don't know how much more time I want to spend. Now I know there's going to be one more funnel to go, and I think the second funnel also has it. Maybe I'll have better luck. One thing's for sure, I'm not going to anneal it in a direct flame. What I should have done was gone down to my workshop and got a piece of thin metal, like even tin, and then laid the railing on it while it was still flat and heated it from underneath. Somebody suggested using my heat gun. I think it actually will get hot enough to anneal, and it won't have that I was going to say sharp flame, that tremendously bright area of the flame that I accidentally stuck it in yesterday. That was, I should have known better. That's got to be the 3rd time now I've done that. You know, well, they say you learn from your mistakes. Well, some people do, and some people don't. Now, let's just for the fun of it continue on where we left off last night, or yesterday afternoon rather, and we'll see if we can get this part glued on to those gussets. We almost had it. It just didn't stay there because I didn't have the glue there, but we'll slip the macro lens back on. Pardon my boarding house reach. And we'll just get in there and have a nice close look. Okay, no, not to worry. We will get to our little piece here. But when I was sort of cleaning up here, the light kind of hit this in such a way that it revealed what it looks like a crack. Now, I don't know if that's maybe the way the CA glue happened to flow when I was reinforcing the brass tube in the ends. But normally what I do is I leave these pieces on, like this piece and this piece. There's 8 of them altogether. And when I'm turning the piece down, the chisel takes them off, breaks them off. and there's never been any harm done. But I'm thinking that possibly in this instance, being as we've got a lot of stuff going on the inside of this acrylic, like I mean by stuff, I mean these pieces of sprue, and I'm thinking that maybe the safe thing to do would be to try and just maybe just cut these off. Okay, then when the chisel catches on it, there will be less stress. No, I didn't notice the crack though. When I looked at the end here that I'm touching right now, I didn't see the crack going in there. So I don't know. Anyway, back to this. Okay, now if you remember in yesterday's episode, I was talking about, making the back of the funnel here sticky. Okay, now this is Tamiya regular glue. I don't think it'll dry up real quick, and I'm just going to put some on the top where I think those pegs are going to actually touch, and then we'll worry about where it's up against the funnel later. Now let's quickly grab this while that's still sticky and get myself down here, scrunched down so I can see everything, get all the angles just right. The idea is that this should not fall off of there. Okay, now how is the other side? The other side's pretty good. Now I don't know if I dare just touch it or not, or if I'm going to just knock it off. Okay, it seems to be adhering pretty good, but it's not flat up against the side of the funnel. That's not good. Let me just push that in there. Okay, now maybe I'm going to take a little bit of the Tamiya. I call it thick, but it's not really thick. And just let it run down in there and sort of make it fill the gap, if you know what I mean. Okay, that should be fairly strong once that dries, and once it's painted, you're not going to see that. Especially being as it's underneath. You got to remember this piece is upside down. Okay, while these little parts are drying, I think we may as well see if we can salvage maybe some of our railing. Okay, now how much of this thing are we actually going to be able to salvage here? And I'm thinking we're going to lose 3 squares. If I lay this on its side, if I just sort of lay it like this, yeah, there we go. Now, okay, so we're probably gonna lose this square here. I don't think I can straighten that out. So what I'm going to try to do here, and maybe I'll have to turn it like this. I normally don't have the cutter at this angle, but I'm just going to try and cut it off just right here. Alright, and I'm trying not to get my fingers in the road here. And also, maybe for this one I'll have to come in from this side. It's maybe I should be using a different knife here too. Yeah, I'm just going to recompose here. So let me get this back here, and then I can bring. Oh, come on, Ron. You know, why don't I straighten this thing out? You know, it's going to have to be straightened out anyway, more or less, because it's going to have to be rebent. So, excuse me, I'm just going to flatten this out. Oops. Yeah, okay, we just got a little bit of straightening to do on this one right here. I think if I, well, let's get rid of this. Turn this around a little bit here. If I hold it down, just push it up a little bit here. And then there's this one rail here is just a little bit off. Now I'm noticing that I've got a tiny little bit of okay, I got that off. No, I hope I didn't weaken that now. I probably did. Alright, now maybe with the small Tamiya tweezers I can straighten that out. Although maybe the big ones would be better because they just sort of go in like this and I might have to do this off camera. Okay, what you see is what you get. I did try to get the railing to, mount out on the top of those brackets like it's supposed to, and I just couldn't get it. So I've adhered it more or less to the side of the funnel, and at arm's length it's going to give the illusion of some kind of detail there. Yeah, maybe I'll have better luck on the other funnel, I don't know, but it is what it is. Okay, over an hour has passed here now since we glued these on, and I think the chances of them falling off are pretty well zilch. Unless I was to, try and pry on them to see how strong they are. I imagine that because a lot of the glue I used was, in fact, I think all of the glue I used was the CA thick. It doesn't set that fast. But they're not going to fall off. Yeah, that's going to be all right, especially once it's painted. If I say that one more time, I'm going to hit myself. Okay, now moving right along. We're done here. Got those on. We are over here, and we've got the 17, 18, 19, and 16. That'll be these little guys here. And they should be fairly easy because they just basically plug in and glue to the sides. But once again, I'm going to let gravity be our friend here, and yeah, I'll just use the helping hand. So what I've been doing is I've been grabbing it in underneath here with the clip, and so I don't need to worry if it gets damaged or scratched or bent or anything. It doesn't really matter. This is going to be, on top of the rest of the superstructure anyway, so we're not going to be seeing that. Okay, enough chatter. Let's recompose here. Okay, for this side here, we need numbers 17, which goes here, and 19 goes there. So I think most likely the easiest one to put on first will be this one here. At least that's just my unprofessional guess here. This is the first time I'm trying it. See how well it fits into that slot there. Maybe I should be recomposing here. Well, that fits really nice. It just almost stays there without any glue. So let me slip on the micro lens. Okay, just using Tony's tweezers this time. I think the reason it's sitting so good is because it's leaning up against a little post here. And that's helping to hold it straight. Okay, let's, whoops, careful now. Let's get some extra thin going on here. I'll bring it in from the other side. I'll just sort of get it fairly heavy on that post where that it's leaning against. And when it melds up against that, then it'll... Okay. So I've glued it from the bottom. But you should be able to see it coming through there. Maybe if I turn it so the light hits it a little bit better. Well, that was an exercise in futility. Okay, I'm looking in the screen and everything is opposite. Okay, it's good. Let's recompose a little bit and stick the other part in this hole here. It almost goes, but not quite. I'm thinking maybe if I kind of moisten the hole here. That should do it. Let's give it a little bit of a wiggle here. Okay. I'm going to do much the same thing on the other side. Now, do you remember these things? Okay, Trumpeter wants us to drop them down now onto the platform and also into the tub on both sides. But if I do that now, that's going to screw up the painting later when I paint this part, basically with the 19. So I am not going to do that, but I'm going to have to remember to go back and do it later. And in all likelihood, we're going to be painting this part very soon. All right, we have to do E9 and E10. Now, clearly this has to go the right way around. Okay, it looks to me like this protrusion coming off the side here has to go to, let's see, let's get this why does this not look right? Oh, I see, it's because the top isn't on. Okay, excuse me. All right, this has to go it almost goes. I think if we moisten it with some extra thin. So let me try it and see if maybe holding it like this I can give it a little bit more pressure. It almost, oh, there we go. It's going to be a nice tight fit. I think what I'm going to do is, excuse me, my voice is starting to go here, is put this on something that's perfectly level, which isn't this. Maybe over here like this. Okay, and then I will just eyeball it from this side and also from this side and get it perpendicular. Then when we put this cross piece on, that is if I don't break this thing first, it'll be easy to get it more or less horizontal and look straight down on it and make sure that we've got it square this way. At least that's the plan. So let's slip on the macro lens and move right in here. Now you should be able to see that it's not seating all the way down into that hole. And so I think what I'm going to do is pull it out and we'll moisten the hole with some extra thin. And I'm also going to do the bottom of the peg. And get this out of the way. Now make sure we've got this thing in the right direction. And I'm just holding it down here. There. Now when that melds all together, I'm going to keep an eye on it. I know you can't see it, but I've got one of Tennessee Jim's machinist squares here, and I'm just gonna sort of put it on the table and just sort of eyeball along here. Okay, that's too much. Okay, I basically got it square that way. Now let's go the other way. Okay, I'm just going to keep checking it here. I know you don't want to have to put up with this. Now, my limited experience in modeling has been that if I try to rush this and try and put that cross piece on right now, right here, I'm probably going to end up accidentally moving this slightly one way or the other, and I won't notice that I've done it, and it'll harden crooked, and I'll be busy trying to resaturate this to get it, you know, fix it and so on. So it's easiest to just let it wait for about an hour or so. Unfortunately, an hour or so is a little bit too late for me this afternoon, and still get today's episode out. Oh my goodness, it rained. Yeah, it's raining outside. You can't see that. I guess that rain that they got in the UK this morning moved over here. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you in the morning.